Hi, I'm Martha Josie, and this is Ty Mitchell, and we're going to talk about saddles today. You know, we are real excited about our Circle line of saddles, right, Ty?
Yes, we have, over the last several years, we've been trying to put together a collection of saddles that would fit different riders, different horses, and we've got saddles to fit your needs. And all these saddles, you've ridden in, I've ridden in, we've tried them, tested them, we've had a lot of success with our students that have gone on to do good riding these saddles, and each person has a different need. You know, some people need to be set down a little more, some people like to ride up a little more. We've got a saddle to fit your needs.
And we tried to fit all needs too, everything from the 12-inch. Why is that 12-inch so important?
Well, most kid saddles, when you're talking about performance saddles, they don't do their job. And we've designed one, the Avenger, that really has a nice deep seat, and it's an advantage. It definitely helps your riding.
Safety, you know, safety for that young person too. And Ty, on your saddle, since the guys like to ride a saddle, it doesn't have quite as much bling.
It doesn't have the bling, but it does look good. And you can get any of these saddles if you want them fully tooled. If you want the bling, you can get bling. If you don't want it, different conchos, different seats. That's one of the things that you can kind of mix and match and get that look that you're wanting. But I'm real proud of this saddle. This is the Renegade.
And you know, the main thing about a saddle, it's got to fit the person, but how important is it to fit that horse?
It's very important. And a lot of people they'll sit in a saddle and see if it fits them, but then they forget to check their horse. I've got 30 horses at home, and these saddles fit great. If you have that wider or a horse that's funny shaped back, you got the flex saddle. You know, there's something out there for your horses.
And you know, one thing that we're really proud of, Circle Y has worked so hard with us, and we actually took a naked tree and we'll set it on the horse and make sure the tree fits first, and then all the leather that goes on and everything, and really quality, because we want something that'll last.
That'll last. And going back to the tree, one thing about Circle Y, the trees are exactly the same. We're used to, a long time ago, your trees may vary, and you had to really try that particular saddle on a horse. Now the trees are identical. That style of tree is identical. They're very consistent in the way to make their trees, and the tree is the foundation to your saddle, and that's what is important. That's what's making that contact on your horse's back.
And you know, a lot of times, make sure that if you put your hand under here and you push down, if it hurts your hand, it's sure going to hurt the horse's withers. So that's important to know.
In putting a saddle on a horse's back without the saddle pad, just to set it up there to kind of get a feel, you can kind of tell, and it should be pretty even across here. You wouldn't want a lot of pressure in one place and not down here. You want the tree or the saddle is designed to distribute that weight equally out on the back. You wouldn't want a saddle kicked up on the horse's back either. You want the bars of that saddle to run along the loin of that horse's back, keeping even pressure.
And our saddle comes with this silver buckle set, but our saddle doesn't require a back gird. It sits down so good, but you can get, if you like a back gird, it does come with a slot, and it is available with a back gird. And Ty, another good tip that is an old-timey saying, that you can measure what size seat you have by taking your fist, making a fist into your elbow, and putting it in this saddle. Okay, I personally ride a 14.5, and this is a 15, and if you'll see, I've got about a half of an inch showing here. So this is a 14, little bit too tight for me. So I ride a 14.5, and my arm will fit down. Now this doesn't work out for everybody, but that's a pretty good way to
That's a pretty good rule of thumb. They say the distance from here to here is the same as your femur bone. And that's what you got to, a lot of people say, well, my rear end's big, I need a bigger saddle. Well, you got to remember, you want your legs, you want your toes in front of you. When you're sitting in a saddle, you want your toes in front of your knees in front of your hips, and you don't want it way up there, but you want it slightly in front of each other, and that'll give you balance. Some people get a saddle that may be too small and their legs tend to go back here, and some people will get them too big and then they're bouncing on that rear. So getting the saddle that fits you, you got to remember you're making runs, slowing down, speeding up. If you have a lot of slack in your saddle or between your leg and this swell, you're going to get thrown around. And I don't want it uncomfortable either. I want it just right. That way I can perform to the best of my ability.
Really, to help me, I want that saddle horn just kind of right here, not here, because when I push down, I want that saddle horn just right
Where
here.
you got room to work, yeah.
And so I always say a couple of fingers right here when you're sitting. And if you're sitting on your saddle, you should be able, this is really important, you should be able to sit in your saddle, see the tip of your toes without a bunch of discomfort back here.
That's right. And I think it's important, it's all right to sit on a saddle rack, but it doesn't have that true feel when it's sitting on a horse. A lot of times your saddle racks, the saddle may be tipped to the front and you'll get in that saddle and you think, well, that saddle's too tight. When actually when it's on a horse, it's going to set you in a different place. So one thing that here at the ranch, you get to try a saddle and see how it fits you and the horse, and that's important.
And that's another thing why we really stress quality and safety, because we really try these saddles, because we want something that fits the horse, fits the rider, but it's going to be quality all the way.
That's right.